How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. That helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just Jujutsu Kaisen. We cover plenty of manga on the channel, so stick around, check it out, see if anything else catches your interest. Anyway, getting into chapter 170, this was dope. We got the fight between Megami and Reggie, and I loved it. I especially loved the fact that Reggie and Megami both were taking the analytical approach, figuring out the other one's curse technique, which we see that a lot in these types of fights, in fights between two different sorcerers in the series. They typically try to figure out how the other's curse technique works. It just makes the fight a lot easier for you, let's be honest. But Reggie was a little bit overconfident. He thought he knew exactly how Megami's worked. He thought he knew the extent of Megami's capabilities. Megami even says when he's starting to figure out how Reggie's works, he says, "I'm probably not completely on the mark though." Megami understands. There's a possibility there's something I don't understand yet. There's a possibility there's something I haven't seen yet. Reggie's just like, oh no, figured it out. Yeah, we're good. Wait, what was that? So, yeah, maybe slow your roll a little bit, Reggie. You might do a little bit better. But hey, what can I say? You're going against our boy Megami. Tough draw. I don't know. Anyway, so we start off and Megami has used Max Elephant and it's just charging straight at Reggie. And this kind of took Reggie by surprise. He's like, wow, you got something like that at your disposal. That's impressive. Max Elephant even shoots off all the water, but Megami is, well, he's surprisingly agile. He's good at dodging stuff, to say the least. Anyway, Megami ends up jumping off of a roof with Rabbit Escape and the sword that he used to stab What's-His-Face in the face. Yeah, he also has that in his hand, so you know what his intentions are. Anyway, Reggie reproduces a net from a receipt, and he throws it up into the air to try and catch him. Rabbit Escape and the net kind of cancel each other out, which allows Megami to avoid the net and not get captured, which is a good thing, even though he did have the sword there, so Megami's probably good enough. He probably could have just slashed the net in half, but doesn't really matter. Either way, didn't get him. So good. So they're both on the ground, and we start to get to see what Reggie's, curse technique is really about. He says contract object reproduction. And all of these receipts that he threw up in the air turn into knives and start flying at Megami. So yeah, we kind of started to figure this out. But yes, he can turn receipts or whatever is on the receipt back into whatever object it was. So whatever you bought with money and got the receipt for, you can now make that from the receipt. And yes, he also explains later in the chapter, because knives don't typically, fly. Just because you could turn a receipt into a knife, great, you just have a knife. But they are like flying through the air at Megami and stuff. They act similar to Shikigami in the fact that they can be given a simple order. So, fly through the air. There you go. They can do little things kind of like this. So that way they're not completely useless. I mean, knives are still handy, but yeah, that just means like, okay, I got knives, now I can fight with knives. I don't think Reggie is that supremely good at hand-to-hand combat. That's just kind of a hunch, but yeah, you never know. So Megami starts to explain that he's kind of figuring out the curse technique, but like I said, he says, I'm probably not exactly on the money. So Megami understands. There might be things I don't quite understand yet. He's level-headed. He understands these things. Good job, Megami. We like to see it. Don't be stupid, Reggie. Anyway, Reggie says, yeah, but, it's kind of complicated. I can also do things like this. And he takes a receipt for like 2 days or whatever at a spa, and he contract reproduces it or whatever, and his body then gets the effect of going to a spa for 2 days. So, to put this in another way, Reggie basically just froze time, went and took 2 days at a spa, rested, recovered, relaxed, healed himself, and then just came back to the fight and unpaused time. That's kinda busted, I'm not gonna lie. He can literally heal himself with receipts, and that is hilarious. But that's kind of okay because he's kind of, well, actually, no. I was gonna say that's kind of okay because he keeps kind of admitting that he doesn't really have any, like, high-level, really strong attacks. But he does actually say later in the chapter that lying is what is important to Jujutsu sorcerers. So he might just be lying about not having high-level stuff. Who knows? Either way, spa, heal himself, so dumb, but such a great idea, honestly. I never would have thought of that if I was Reggie and had that technique. Never would have thought of it. So yeah, Reggie ends up going on saying, like, neither of us have these really high level attacks, and we're now in a war of attrition to where, you know, I can heal myself with spa day receipts. You look kind of beat up, so I don't think you're going to outlast me at this point, kid. Megumi's just like, you know what, I'm going to play along with this idiot. Okay, fine. You know what? You're right. I guess that means he'll just run away. And he just grabs Nue's foot. Nue just flies him off. So Reggie, being a very versatile person apparently, pulls out a couple of receipts for some drones, and he pops those up, and then he has these drones just follow Megumi, while he pops up another receipt for a moped, and he just hops on the moped and follows Megumi with the drone's camera to the phone, and he's just putting along through the city. Oh, gonna have to take a right on Grant Street. Oh, now left on 2nd Street. I wonder how long he's gonna go for. This is kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. This isn't even really much of a fight. Oh, he's going to the gymnasium. Okay, oh, cool. All right, sweet. So, yeah. Reggie is literally just putting along through the city on a moped, following Megumi, while Megumi just flies over. And yeah, okay, so Megumi drops himself on top of this old, I guess, abandoned gymnasium or whatever, and he drops down in there. Reggie follows him over there, and we see Megumi down there on the gym floor, kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. And he's looking around, and he's like, yeah, the walls are just about the right size in here. All right, it's just about the right size area. And you had to know what was coming before it happened. Because earlier, like a couple chapters ago, Megumi mentioned, he's like, I could use domain expansion, but I haven't completed it to where I can have the barriers hold people in anymore. He's in a place with actual physical barriers now. So, yeah, we're going domain expansion. Here we go, baby. Yeah, Reggie even mentioned it before he went in. He's like, is he just luring me in, or what's the play here? Maybe I could set the place on fire? No, so anyway, Reggie goes in, and he's like, what are you pulling, you little shit? Anyway, he has 2 trucks come blasting through the wall at Megumi. Megumi pulls some super slick, super spy move and slides underneath of these 2 trucks as they come driving over top of him. That was awesome. And then, yeah, basically, Reggie starts fighting with hardware store supermarket stuff. Yeah, he's dropping pots, like flower pots, with flowers and soil in them on top of Megumi's head. Throwing radishes and other food items at him that apparently have knives inside of them. Yeah, Reggie's a strange combatant. I never thought I would see somebody summon a flower pot above somebody's head and just let it drop on top of them and dink, hit him in the head in this series. Yeah, never thought that was going to happen, but it did. Luckily for us, something else happened too. So Megumi gets kicked away by Reggie, and then there's some distance between them. As Megumi is getting up, Reggie's like, you know, considering your type of personality, this is probably a pointless question, but I'll ask it anyway. Give me your points, and I'll make it a painless death. There you go. Megumi, not even really caring about this question, isn't even really answering the question. He's going on, just talking to himself through the stuff. And maybe talking a little bit to Reggie, maybe to freak him out a little bit. I'm just saying this would kind of freak me out. And he says, you know, barrier techniques are just kind of difficult for me. I can't really grasp the sensation of superimposing a different realm, a different space of different scale on top of real space. It's just hard for me. But I think that's why I'm going to use the walls of this gymnasium to cast my domain. And Reggie's sitting there like, what? Hey, did he just... Hazunoki? Trailer Park Timmy. Remy. Anybody? Did anybody hear what he just said? Did he say domain? I heard that right? I didn't think you could do that. Megumi's just sitting here like, yeah, I never said I didn't have any high-level techniques. Domain expansion. Chimera Shadow Garden. Woo! There we go. Nothing but darkness. I don't even know what that amalgamation is behind Megumi right now. Maybe that's like all 10 of the shadows, all in this like chimeric amalgamation of creepiness. But yeah, it's got like veins going out. terrifying looking image and incredibly amazing. I cannot wait. And Megumi, maybe Reggie has something up his sleeve to kind of give him, not an instant defeat here. Let him hold his own for a second before he gets smacked out like a baby. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think not. I think this is gonna be a pretty quick defeat now that the domain is up. But I may be wrong. It's not 100%. I'm not gonna just completely dunk on him yet. I'm gonna give him a chance to defend himself. But I will say, you saw the thumbnail, it said checkmate. I honestly think Megumi didn't even have to recite the enchantment, like the domain expansion Chimera Shadow Garden. He probably could have just done the thing with his fingers. I don't even remember exactly what Megumi does with his fingers when he does domain expansion. They're all different. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember what he does. He probably could have just done it and been like, give me my money and get out, bitch. Like, that's all Megumi had to say. Let's be entirely honest. This was a dope way to end the chapter. And like I said, you had to see this coming once we got into the gymnasium. But yeah, let's talk about this real quick. So, the idea of a domain expansion that Megumi's talking about, like superimposing a space and over top of real space and trying to understand the sensation of it, I really like how he talks about it more as he's trying to understand it himself. I just really love trying to describe a domain expansion in like real terms. It's like trying to describe it to a person of what it is. And I also wonder if him using the gymnasium is not just his way of making physical barriers there so it's harder for Reggie to escape, because like he said, he can't do it to where the barriers keep people in yet. He hasn't fully completed it. I don't know if he's only doing it for that reason. He might also be using the gymnasium as a physical space to help him understand doing that. So maybe next time after he does this, after he used a physical space to do it, he will then be able to understand and grasp the sensation of doing it without a physical space. So this might just be a stepping stone for Megumi to fully complete the domain expansion, not just a useful way for him to use it in the moment. So yeah, this was super awesome. Great chapter. I love the way Akutami's doing this fight. Megumi was dope at the end. I completely understand why Megumi keeps rising up the character ranks. He has risen up mine as well. Not up there to number 1 or anything like that yet. Calm down there. But he's risen from where he started. Trust me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.